under pressure. Ministry never quits. I was trying to do better. July 2020 in the mountains of Tennessee with Hebrews from other hoods, showing true brotherhood. Now it's August 1st and we just finished this fire lesson. Down to the rivers to go receive a fire blessing. Riding to the waters in a set-apart motorcade. I can feel a human like chill between my shoulder blades. Old man needs to be deaded. Hebrews standing on the shore, reflecting on the wrongs I've done before. Confessing that Yahuwah is the power, Yahusha is the master. I went to a king from a bastard. Down into the waters, life flashed before my eyes. Left a dead man in the living waters, now it's time to ride. Praises go up, you know the rest. Ruach HaKodesh in this body of flesh. We let the old man down.
Let the old man down. We let the old man down. Let the old man down. We let the old man down. Let the old man down. Let the old man down. Let the old man down.
Hey man, it's about time for y'all to hit that like and that subscribe button. You've been around here soaking up all the game like a dry sponge in a wet puddle. You've been robbing your brother of his likes and his subscription. You don't want to comment, you don't want to hit the share button. You're selfish. You don't want to participate, then you need to evacuate. Get on up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we don't need your kind. Now, for those of you that's going to do what's right, go ahead and get it then. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment, and sit back and relax. Let's get into these scripts. You dig?
Shalom. Shalom to the brethren. And what up to everybody else? This is your Ak, Brandon Lewis. And this is the Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study, where we search the Scriptures, looking for ways to apply them to life that we might become perfect. Too long have we read a scripture here and a scripture there, creating whole doctrine, never knowing the fullness of the context of those scriptures, the fullness and the context of those chapters and those books. And we have ignorantly made them say things that they did not say, made them intend things that they did not intend. May we now read them in the fullness, in the context that they were meant to be read in, and know what they were intended to teach us. May the Most High be with us as we read through His Word, as we place them in their proper context, the proper people in whom they were written about, and the proper time frames in which they were written about. This is the time of the rebuilding of the nation, not the rebuilding of temples made with men's hands, but the temples made with the hands and the ruach of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. May we be as we ought to be. May we know what we ought to know. May we have eyes that see. May we have ears that hear. May we build up what needs to be builded up, and may we tear down what needs to be torn down. May we come together in love, peace, and unity of the brethren, of the mind, and of the heart, in the name of the Son, of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Shalom.
All right, all right. Man, all praises to the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas, and everything in them. Give him all honor and esteem and much thanks to his being, his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world knows as Jesus Christ. This is Yah Brandon Lewis. And today, well, this is the lunar solar Shabbat scripture study. So Shabbat Shalom to all of those of you that know about such things and who are observing such things today. Right? But for the rest of you, we say what's up. Hope all is well with you. And may you learn the things you need to know and see the things you need to see. And if the Most High sees fit to make me a part of your revelation and the clearing of your eyes, then so be it. All honor and esteem to him. But today we're going to be reading the book of 2 Kings, chapter 9. It concerns Jehu is anointed king and carries out God's judgment against the house of Ahab and Jezebel. Many of you have heard about Jezebel and Jezebel spirit and all of these things, but you might not know about the context of her and everything. And you're not going to learn it today because that's chapter, I think it's chapter 8 and chapter 7. But chapter 9 is dealing with a promise that the Most High had, right? Because Ahab and Jezebel were a wicked couple. Today, they would be called a power couple. You know, you might even say couple that a lot of people would aspire to be like, right? They had all the money, they had all the power, all the influence, right? They took what they wanted. I'm talking about they took what they wanted, whether you wanted to give it to them or not, right? And nobody could touch them for a very long time. They caused a lot of terror and havoc in people's lives, right? So, uh, the Most High, well, I say the Most High referring to the Father, right? But it's a lot of context to that. So, for those of you who know and would understand, right, we're gonna say Yahuwah, right? Because Yahuwah isn't a name; it's a title. And Yahuwah promised to bring judgment upon the house of Ahab, right? He said, "I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna kill everybody in your family or unalive." Okay, TikTok. Okay, the unalive you and everybody in your family. That's what he said. I don't know. I didn't lost track of what I'm even doing here. What are we doing? Okay, let's get the stuff straight. There we go. Here I am, Yog B. Lou. What up to everybody? Shalom, shalom. Um, yeah, let's get right on into it. Now, as well, this is also a precept to last week when I spoke about the kingdom of Israel or the nation of Israel having two kingdoms, right? Because of Solomon's sin, right? He had all 12 tribes under him. When he sinned, it was prophesied that under his son, that it would be split up into two kingdoms, king of Israel, king of Judah, right? We also spoke last week about that the Most High keeps his word, right? If he promises something, he is just, he is trustworthy to do it, right? And he promised he was going to get Ahab. He promised he was going to kill everything that pisseth against the wall in Ahab's family line, right? And this is the keeping of that promise. So we are in the book of 2 Kings chapter 9. We coming out of the NRSA. Okay, we coming out of that NRSA. And for those of you here on TikTok, let me try to make my screen a little. Well, I can't really get myself in there, TikTok. You're just going to have to deal with what you got, okay? So, shout out to everybody joining in on TikTok. Hit that like button. Let me get some likes and all that. Let me get some hearts, your daily heart meets and all that old good stuff. Okay. 2 Kings. The prophet or Nob, Elijah or Elisha, called a member of the Salaki. Getting tongue tied. Then the prophet Elisha called a member of the company of prophets and said to him, gird up your loins, take this flask of oil in your hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. Pardon me. When you arrive, look there for Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi. Go in and get him to leave his companions and take him into an inner chamber. Then take the flask of oil, pour it on his head, and say, thus says the master, I anoint you king over Israel. Then open the door and flee. Do not linger. There's a lot of key points in this, right? Now, a similar thing happened to King David. King David, unbeknownst to King Saul at the time, was anointed privately to be the king of Israel. Now, usually kingship is passed down from father to son. When it's not done father to son, it's done privately. And a prophet is in charge of anointing the next king. This is why it was done privately. This is also why he told him, when you get done, flee. Flee. Do not linger, okay? Because whichever king is in power at the time is not going to like this, and they may seek to kill you. Not only that, other men around could seek to kill you as well. Your main goal is to give the anointing and get up out of there, right? As quick as you can, right? Don't play with it. Now, King David was anointed by King Samuel at his home. And King Samuel did that quietly. But this is a different deal because this man, he didn't just anoint Jehu, he told Jehu why he's being anointed king. And he also gave him orders of what he ought to do. Let's read it. Verse 4. So the young man, the young prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. He arrived while the commanders of the army were in council, and he announced. Now, this is another thing. Jehu ain't just no old geek off the street. Okay? Jehu is actually a former king's son. Well, no, he's the grandson of a king, if I'm not mistaken. His grandfather is King Jehoshaphat, who was also a king. I think king of Northern Kingdom. I don't know why Nimshi didn't become king unless Nimshi's brother was king and not him, right? But anyway, however it goes, it ain't no regular people coming off the street. King David was a regular person, but at the time there was no king line really. The only famous bloodline at the time King Saul was made king was the Levites. Everybody else was just kind of regular. But once a king was had, then all of his children were like highborn or whatever. That's when you get into like, all this uh European Game of Thrones kind of stuff, or being highborn and being lord and dukes and all this old stuff, right? But Jehu was somebody, right? His granddaddy was a king, and he is a commander in the army of Northern Kingdom. It says he arrived while the commanders of the army were in council, and he announced, "I have a message for you, commander." "For which one of us?" asked Jehu. "For you, commander." So Jehu got up and went inside. The young man poured the oil on his head, saying to him, "Thus says the master, your power of Israel, I anoint you king over the people of the master, over Israel. You shall strike down." See, this is what he's supposed to do. This is why he's being made king. "You shall strike down the house." Hold on. My bad. TikTok. "You shall strike down the house of your master Ahab, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the master." See, the Most High avenges his people. It might not come when you want it, but it's always on time, and it's how he wants to do it. These people been unalived, if you will. These people been got knocked off. But the Most High promised he was going to avenge them. He promised he was going to repay the people that hurt them. And this is what he's setting to do. And he don't choose no anybody. He chose the right one. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Dr. Pepper song back in the day. The right one, baby. Okay? That's who he got. It says, "You shall strike down the house of your master Ahab, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of my servants of the master." Now, Jezebel did have a lot of these people killed. Ahab's problem was that he allowed it. He didn't step in. He didn't stop. So it's a lot of shenanigans going on in our households today, and a lot of us are going to be blamed for not stopping. Right? Because Ahab was blamed for not stopping a lot of the shenanigans going on in his house. Not only that she did, but that he did as well. So let's be mindful today of nipping it in the bud before the Most High promises a judgment upon us, and he sends somebody like Jehu or a Jehu-like incident to come upon us. Okay, this didn't go well for Ahab and for Jezebel. It didn't go well for him. Okay, for the whole house of Ahab shall perish. I will cut off from Ahab every male, bond or free, in Israel. See, the bond and free, This is the concubine's children. See, it's a lot of people now with this whole multiple wives thing and this whole having concubines. But this is the thing about that. Concubines' children are bond servants. They serve the children of the wives. They can't get an inheritance. They don't get anything. This ain't slave children. This is bond children, the children you have outside of your wife. It's legal. It's perfectly legal, but this is what comes with that these children become bond servants to the main children. Every male, bond or free, in Israel. I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, son of Ahijah. The dog shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel. Remember this, right? The dog shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and no one shall bury her. Then he opened the door and fled. Why would dogs eat Jezebel in Jezreel? Jezreel is where they did a lot of their idolatry, where they did a lot of their evil. So in the place that they did the evil is the place where they're gonna be repaid for their shenanigans. It says when Jehu came back to his master's office, because hold on, the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and no one shall bury her. Then he opened the door and fled. The prophet that came to anoint Jehu told him the message, and then he left. And it says, when Jehu came back to his master's officers, they said to him, is everything all right? Why did that madman come to see you? The prophets were called madmen. Because you notice the prophets didn't really hang with the people like that. The prophets was always off to themselves in solitude or in a group amongst themselves in solitude away from the people. So whenever a prophet showed up, the people was worried because they be like, y'all don't really be hanging with us. Like, y'all don't be at the parties. Y'all don't be at the barbecues. No, y'all be off up on the hill somewhere hanging. So when y'all come down off that hill, it's bad news usually. Okay, that's why they always want to know, is it peace? Is everything okay? So he's being called a madman because that's what the people looked at the prophets was because of how they live. You know, they probably lived a lot like what's old boy John the Baptist, right? Secluded, probably only ate like certain things or whatever, you know. It says, why did that madman come to you? He answered them, you know the sort and how they babble. So it's this mindset about prophets that they be talking crazy, they be acting crazy. You can't really believe them because this is another thing, right? All of the prophets ain't really real. So it's people who would live a prophet's life and be separate and hang with the groups of them, all that, and come and say, the Most High told me, God told me, let me tell you about the vision, but it don't be a real vision. These are called false prophets, right? So you got the false prophets that put a bad image on the good prophets. Same thing we got going on today. It's some people that probably really hear from the Most High. But because it's this title of prophet, you get them confused with all the ones who lying, all the ones that do all these prophets. They come on here with their head covered. They got their heads covered, and they will say, thus saith the Most High. And it be a bunch of lies. Okay? They get them mixed and confused. Now, this man was sent by a man who actually heard from the Most High. The man didn't hear from him, right? He was the representative of the man that heard from the Most High. So it's this mindset of these people crazy. But no, this one ain't crazy. This is real. This is authentic. What is that? This is not a test. Okay? This is not a test. If it were a test, we would have told you. Right? You know the sort and how they babble. They said, liar. Come on, tell us. See? They know Jehu is like, hey, we kind of feel like this with no crazy person. This man told you something for real. We can kind of see it in your face. It don't say this, but you know, if this man than just being told he was king and he got to kill the whole house of his king now. This man been serving Ahab. This man been serving Jezebel. He's their captain of the host. He's one of their commanders. A prophet from the Most High just came and told this man, you got to kill all them. So let's look at this. Let's look at, we live in our normal everyday lives, right? We live in our everyday lives. We just doing what we know is right. And then we get a message from the Most High. Everything you doing right now, stop that. I got something else for you to do. Not only is it something else for you to do, it's dangerous. Not only is it dangerous, it's inconvenient. Not only is it inconvenient, you might have some feelings for these people that I'm about to send you against. Kill all that. Go do what I'm telling you to do. He just got this information privately. Then he leave out of that room and go back into a room full of people that he don't know if these people gonna follow him or not. He don't know if these people gonna kill him for thinking he about to be the next king. Not only is he about to be the next king, you got to kill the old king and his whole family. Think about what Jehu's being hit with, and think about what you would do if you was hit with it. Now, this is the thing. The Most High didn't choose Jehu lightly. As the story goes on, you're going to see Jehu is with all the shenanigans. Okay, he's with it. And he's not going to be slow about it. He's not going to halfway do it. He's going to do it and do it to the max. Okay? So, that also goes to show you that if the Most High choose you for something, he chose you for it because you can do it. So ain't no need to be shy about it. Ain't no need to be timid about it. Get on in there and do it. And do it with your whole heart. Take that. They said, liar. Come on, tell us. So he said, this is just what he said to me. Thus says the master, I anoint you king over Israel. Then hurriedly they all took their cloaks and spread them for him on the bare steps. And they blew the trumpet and proclaimed Jehu as king. So you see this custom of Israelites to take off their cloaks and to lay them on the ground for a new king to walk on. They did the same thing to Yahushua when he came through Jerusalem. They took off their cloaks and they laid them on the ground so he could walk over them while he was riding on the colt. I don't know if it was a colt or a donkey. I can't remember. He was on something. But anyway, they laid their garments on the ground so he could walk on them. They did the same thing for Jehu, right? And I want to say, I can't recall exactly, but I think when King David finally got the kingship, I think they probably had something similar, right? Or when his men finally found him, right? Because he had to run away. He was on the run. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it happened somewhere else. I just can't think of it at the time, right? It's a lot of books in the Bible, right? I read all of them. So I can't remember everything specifically because there's so many stories that kind of jumble together, right? But anyway, then hurriedly they all took their cloaks and spread them for him on the bare steps, and they blew the trumpet and proclaimed, Jehu is king. It's going down. Thus Jehu, son of Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram. Joram with all Israel had been on guard at Ramoth Gilead against King Hazael of Aram. But King Joram had returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds that the Arameans had inflicted on him when he fought against King Hazael of Aram. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think at this time Ahaz has died, right? I think he died of like a sickness or something, right? But I think he repented before he died or something like that, right? But anyway, he's dead. So his son is king now, and his wife Jezebel is still around. Okay, so you got Jezebel left, who is the who who is the perpetrator of a lot of the wickedness, right? He said, "You have killed my prophets and all this." Jezebel behind a lot of that. You kill the innocent. You kill those that serve me. Jezebel, right? So she got to pay. Now the son, he's got a lot to do with the shenanigans as well, right? Which is a sign to us that although the son might not have wanted to do a lot of the stuff he did it. This is why you want to walk after the Most High for yourself. And you stand for what's right for yourself. Because you be thinking, my daddy told me to do it. My mama told me to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. They going to get judged for what they did. And because you didn't repent, you didn't turn from it, you finna get judged now. So now Joram about to get judged for the works of his parents and his participation with what his parents been putting down. Each man shall be judged according to his own works. Be mindful, right? But King Joram had returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds that the Arameans had inflicted on him when he fought against King Hazael of Aram. So Jehu said, "If this is your wish, then let no one slip out of the city to go and tell the news in Jezreel." Then Jehu, you notice, Jehu don't like nobody getting away. Okay, Jehu is like Hellraiser. When he locked the doors, don't nobody get out. Okay, that's his whole thing is, you know, don't nobody leave here that I don't want leaving here. Okay, if you innocent, get out. Then Jehu mounted his chariot and went to Jezreel, where Joram was lying ill. King Ahaziah, Ahaziah of Judah. This is what I'm saying about it being two kings. King Joram is king of northern kingdom. King Ahaziah is the king of Judah. Okay? King Ahaziah of Judah, he's the king of the Jews. Jews and Israelites are not the same. All Jews are Israelites, all Israelites ain't Jews. New Testament. King Ahaziah, King Uzziah of Judah had come down to visit Joram in Jezreel. The sentinel standing on the tower spied the company of Jehu arriving and said, "I see a company." Joram said, "Take a horseman, send him to meet them, and let him say, 'Is it peace?'" So the horseman went to meet him and said, "Thus says the king, 'Is it peace?'" Jehu responded, "What have you to do with peace? Fall in behind me." See, Jehu knows these men have been servants in the shenanigans. That's why he telling them, like, look, what you got to do with peace? Now, he could have killed him. He could have killed him flat out, but he didn't kill him. He said, man, get behind me. I don't want you running back, letting him know it ain't peace. He gonna know it ain't peace when I get to him. Okay? So then you get in the back. Get in the rear with the gear. Okay? Fall in behind me. The sentinel reported saying, the messenger reached him, but he is not coming back. No, he ain't coming back. Jehu ain't letting him come back, right? Jehu is handling his business to like on point. So you always handle the Most High's business on a high level. Okay, all this mediocre handling of the business. Okay, it's not what he wants. He don't want the mediocre handling of the business. Jehu is handling it very crisp, very professionally in the early stages. It's still early. We got a long way to go. Then he sent out a second horseman who came to them and said, thus says the king, is it peace? Jehu answered, what have you to do with peace? Fall in behind me. So he took another man, told him, get in the back. Get in the back. We going up here. But you ain't going ahead of us. Again, the sentinel reported, he reached them, but he is not coming back. It looks like the driving of Jehu, son of Nimshi, for he drives like a maniac. Apparently, Jehu is known for really moving on them chariots. Okay, when Jehu is on them chariots, he getting maximum speed up out of them chariots. Okay, and they know it. They know it when he coming. It was like, oh, so you know me. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, you know me before I get there. Joram said, get ready. And they got his chariot ready. Then King Joram of Israel and King, I keep messing up on his name, and King Uzziah of Judah set out, each in his chariot, and went to meet Jehu. They met him at the property of Naboth the Jezreelite. You know what's crazy about this right here? This is why they being judged, because they killed Naboth for his land. Okay? Jezebel and Ahaz killed this man for his property because he didn't want to give it up. They tried to buy it. Now, I give them that much. They did try to buy it. But the man said, I don't want to sell my stuff. I don't want to give it to you. I don't care what you offering. I don't want to sell it. It ain't for sale. You want to buy, but it ain't for sale. So they killed him. They knocked him off, right? And that was considered to be against Yah's law. King or not, right? King or queen or not, it don't matter. It's this man's stuff. He don't want to give it up. So, Most High promised he was going to punish them for that. And howbeit, they own this man's property when Jehu shows up. When the Punisher shows up, they own the man's property. All praises to the Most High Yah for irony. Okay? Most Highs know how to hit you with the irony. When Joram saw Jehu, he said, is it peace, Jehu? He answered, what peace can there be so long as the many whoredoms and sorceries of your mother, Jezebel, continue? So you see how the father, Ahaz, was guilty for not taming Jezebel. Now the son is guilty for not taming Jezebel. We can't let the wild run free. Okay? We can't let the women in our lives who are of a wicked nature or of a displeasing nature to the Most High just be out here just doing what they want to do willy-nilly, and we be scared to say something about it for whatever reason. Oh, she gonna take my kids. Oh, she gonna do this. She gonna do that. Man, listen, Most High Yah don't care what your reasons is. He don't give a damn what your reasons is. Now, I can't say nothing to Jezebel. She gonna split my kingdom up. She gonna kill me in my sleep. I can't say nothing to my mama. That's my mama. Shit me. The Most High finna Most High gonna make it rain on your head for participating in the violence. So, well, I didn't do nothing. You let it be done. And this is what we gotta understand. You know, it's like who are you more fearful of? Right? You most scared about your woman doing something to you, or about the Most High doing something to you? Okay. And Ahaz, no, it's Ahab. I keep saying Ahaz. Is it Ahab? Let's see here. I keep saying Ahaz, but I feel like it's Ahab. It is Ahab. Okay, my bad. Ahab. So Ahab was Joram's daddy, and he was the husband of Jezebel. Okay. So he was the first weak man not doing what he needed to do. Right. And I guess he, rubbed off on his son to where his son was weak and his son didn't do what he needed to do. You got to put a stop to the wickedness when it's time to put a stop to the wickedness, right? Joram was supposed to stop his mama. If you don't stop her, you cool with it. Quietness is complicitness. So Joram be like, "Hey man, Jehu, why you want to kill me, man? What I do?" I said, "Man, listen. How can there? What he said? What peace can there be? What peace can there be so long as the many whoredoms and sorceries of your mother Jezebel continue? Peace? You want peace? All this going on? She killing innocent people. She taking people land. She hunting down prophets. You ain't did nothing about it, and you want to know, is it peace?" Some of us got situations, contrary stuff that we ain't said nothing about, we ain't did nothing about, and we want to know, we want to go pray to the Most High for peace. Peace? Who said something about peace? You want peace? You got all this going on? You doing all this? You letting all this go on? You want peace? What? Let me say, ain't no peace for the wicked? Huh? Ain't no peace for the broke back, the effeminate. And that's what's going on. A lot of people is effeminate in their natures. And we got to put our foots down. We got to put our foots down and have a firm hand, right? And this is across the board. This is in leadership. This is for leaders of assemblies, right? You a pastor, you a moray, you the head over something. You got to interject the firm hand of correction, of rebuke, of admonishment, of discipline. You got to put it in, because if you don't, Jehu is coming. Jehu's coming for the innocent who didn't suffer because you didn't say nothing. You pastors that's not saying nothing to the parents, the children is suffering. Jehu's coming. The Most High is sending them for them children. And who's ever on the end of suffering because you didn't make a certain decision, the Most High is sending Jehu. The Punisher's coming. And he good at his job. Okay? He's good at his job. Whoever the Most High is sending to get you. Now, it might not be a literal person coming to lay hands upon you. It could be cancer. It could be starvation. It could be anything, because he got spirits that work for him too. He can send a spirit of Jehu on you. Okay, he got angels and Malachim that come and put something on you, do something to you, just like he did with Saul. Put the spirit of madness on you. You be around here just acting crazy. Why? Spirit of Jehu, the Punisher. for the complicit, for the quiet, for the soft-handed. Out here being soft-handed. Most I got something for you, man. Then Joram reigned about and fled, saying to Uzziah, treason, Uzziah. Jehu drew his bow with all his strength. So this is what's happened. He done pulled up on, you got the king of Israel and the king of Judah hanging out, right? The king of Israel got shot with some arrows, right? So while he's resting, trying to heal up, the king of Judah came to visit him. He said, man, I'm gonna go visit my cousin. Because they kinfolks, right? They all cousins. He said, I'm gonna go visit my cousin. So while he over there visit him, he don't know the Most High done sent judgment. He done sent a man to come kill it, unalive him, right? TikTok. So Jehu come. They go and meet Jehu, king of Judah, king of Israel, go to meet the captain of the host of Northern Kingdom's army, who's about to be the new king of Northern Kingdom. They go to talk. He want to know, is it cool? Is it peace mean, do you want to fight? Okay? If he says peace, that means he don't want to fight. I'm just here to hang. I'm just here to come talk to you. If it ain't peace, it means I'm coming to unalive you right now. When he wouldn't tell him it's peace, the king was like, he turned around and tried to run. While he's trying to run, it says Jehu drew his bow with all his strength and shot Joram between the shoulders, so that the arrow pierced his heart, and he sank in his chariot. Jehu said to his aide, Bidkar, lift him out and throw him on the plot of ground belonging to Naboth, the Jezreelite. For remember when you and I rode side by side behind his father Ahab? Now the master uttered this oracle against him. See, this is what I told you earlier about the man with the land that Ahab and Jezebel killed because he didn't want to sell his land. And the Most High punished the son of them on that man's land. Told I y'all, it's awesome. It's awesome when he come in. All right. For the blood of Naboth and for the blood of his children that I saw yesterday, says the master, I swear I will repay you on this plot of ground. That's what he promised. That's what he did, right? Now, therefore, lift him out and throw him on the plot of ground in accordance with the word of the master. This is what we got to understand, right? Things written aforetime was written for our learning. So if we see the Most High promised something in an earlier thing and came back to fulfill it, then that means when he promised to bring us out of captivity, when he promised to make us the head and not the tail, when he promised to make our enemies be at peace with us, right? All according to us serving him, right, and keeping his word, then we can trust in it. Okay? Even if it don't come to pass when we think it ought to come to pass. The trust is in the waiting. Is in the unsurety of circumstance until payment. Right? Because it's like this. If you say you're gonna pay me and I give you money that I need, but because you said you're gonna pay me and you trustworthy, I give it to you. There's certain feelings that go along with that. That I'm without my money, I'm without the safety of my money, and whatever I was gonna take to pay that with, whatever I could be doing instead, I gotta not do that. In trust that you're gonna come when you said you was gonna come. This is the faith. I don't know what Christians be talking about just believing in something. No, it's because you believe, you put yourself in harm's way. You put yourself in an inconvenience. And that inconvenience is the doing and the keeping of his word, the following of his instructions. A lot of you just around here thinking on some stuff. But anyway. Now, therefore, lift him out and throw him on the plot of ground in accordance with the word of the master. When King Uzziah of Judah saw this, he fled in the direction of Beth Hagan. Jehu pursued him. See, listen. Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom was kind of cool, but they really kind of beef for real. Other kings previous beef and had wars against each other, right? So Jehu really could have knocked him off too. He was like, hey, I get 2 kings for 1. Then I'm the ultimate king. If he was selfish, right? If he was a selfish man, he could have been like, I could unify the tribes. I could be the first king since since Solomon, to have all 12 tribes under my reign. That's not what he said. Because the Most High picked somebody that he knew was not going to be on that type of time. That was not going to do too much. Huh? It was not going to go against his word. So if the Most High picked you for something, man, trust in it. Trust in his picking. And go do. Right? Jehu pursued him, saying, shoot him also. Hold on, he did shoot that boy. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Sometimes you got to read the whole thing. Right? But I think he shot him out of his complicitness, right? They both was participating in the shenanigans. He didn't do this to try to be the unified king. He did this in a as a avenger of the people who've been wronged. Apparently, Ahaziah was complicit in the wrongdoing of these people, so he got to punish. He have to be punished. So let's just make sure we're not complicit in wrongdoing to the innocent. Right? Let's just make sure we're not complicit in it. Because we see the Most High, his hand gonna touch everything moving when it comes to avenging the innocent. Right? They mess with his prophets, his servants. They mess with Naboth. He said, I'm gonna get revenge for you. So woe unto the people if we should be innocent. If we should be innocent, woe to the people that would harm us. See, this is why we got to be innocent. Because we have a judge that is faithful to repay the people that mess with us. But if we complicit in it, then it's going to be like, we them, we Joram, we Ahaz. Ain't no vengeance coming on Jehu for what he doing to them people. He doing a good job. Good and faithful servant. You good and faithful servant. You know what I'm talking about? That's what the Avenger is going to get. And this is what we got to understand, man. Right? Let's be innocent. Let's be like the prophets. Let's be like Naboth, right? Even if it should cost us our lives, right? Because their obedience is what cost them their lives. Their obedience is what cost them their lives. The prophets that got killed for serving the Most High and not turning from his ways. Naboth got killed for not selling his inheritance, right? And serving the Most High. And he brought judgment about it. So, Jehu shot him also. And they shot him in the chariot at the ascent of Gur, which is by Ableam. Then he fled to Megiddo and died there. His officers carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in his tomb with his ancestors in the city of David. In the 11th year of Joram, son of Ahab, Uzziah began to reign over Judah. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. She painted her eyes and adorned her head and looked out of the window. See, these wicked women, they start to trust in their beauty. This is what happened to Israel as a nation. They were referred to as a woman who was beautiful, right? But at the time that she was loved by the Most High, it wasn't for outward appearance. It was for the inward appearance. It was the inner appearance of, man, you gonna serve me. Now, metaphorically, that was what Abraham was. It's a faithful servant. Love the Most High against, you know, all of this doctrine, all of these idols, all of this stuff that was going on at the world. Abraham sought the Most High, right? When you get to the 12 tribes, when you get to the sons, they all serve the Most High, right? Jacob, uh, uh, Isaac served the Most High. Okay, when you get to Moses, when you get to certain, it was certain characteristics about us before he gave us land, before he made us kings and queens. The land and the kings and queens, that's the makeup. Okay, that's the adorning. It says, when Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard, she painted her eyes and adorned her head. See, that's what we did as a nation. That's what we started to trust in, is this outward appearance, right? We no longer trusted in being upright. We no longer trusted in being honest, being just good people, to people in general. We trusted in, man, look at this land, man. Look at this temple. Look at the fringes. Look at my fringes, Ock. What about your insides? I see you got all this good stuff and all this, but who are you as a person? Huh? When ain't nobody looking, who are you? And that's what we got to understand about this and all of these stories, is that it's all applicable. Because if you ain't the virtuous woman, you Jezebel. Committing idolatrous, you robbing, stealing, and killing. Because I tell you what, if you ain't virtuous, what's stopping you from robbing, stealing, and killing? Maybe you only rob and steal and kill as it fits you. you you don't rob, steal, and kill all the time. No, you sometimes. I'm only gonna rob, steal, and kill in this scenario. Okay. So that don't make you any less of a Jezebel because you only do it once and she do it all the time. Keep living. You're gonna be doing it all the time. Okay? And that's what we got to understand. When Jehu came to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it. She painted her eyes and adorned her head. And look, this is why in Isaiah chapter 3, the Most High said he took all of her adornment. He took all her adornment. Ain't no putting on no adornment. You ain't got none. Okay, when I cast you away and send you in all these other nations, you ain't got no more adornments. Not from me. These other nations can adorn you. Huh? Any power, influence you got, it came from them. It didn't come from me. And that's what we got to understand. We think, because we got certain things and everything, we attribute it always to the Most High. Hold on, man. This TikTok thing is acting crazy. Okay. I didn't see no movement, so I had to reactivate the thing and all that. So anyway, Jehu entered the gate. As Jehu entered the gate, she said, "Is it peace?" They always want to know, is it peace? Is everything okay? Everything okay? Is it peace, Zimri? Murderer of your master? See, she know her son is dead. She know her son is dead. He looked up to the window and said, "Who is on my side?" See, this is when you gotta know your place. You gotta know where you're at, and you gotta be conscious of what's going on. Okay. And it shows how smart Jehu is, right? This woman is in some kind of a fortress. And 9 times out of 10, Jehu can't really get in there like that. He can't get in there. But the Most High is so tuned is that he put all the chips at play. Put all the chips in play. He got somebody that's gonna play the role that they need to play to do what he needs to get done. What if these men was with the shenanigans? Then they can't do the role that need to get done. But as you see, they with it. Okay. He looked up to the window and said, "Who is on my side?" Who? It says 2 or 3 eunuchs looked out at him. He said, "Throw her down." So they threw her down. Some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses, which trampled on her. So these men, these eunuchs, in case you don't know what a eunuch is, it's somebody who serves in the king's quarters usually, or who serve in somebody important's house. It's a slave or a servant, a male servant or slave, that in order to keep them from sleeping with the women of the household, they get their nuts clipped off, okay? Or they get their penises clipped. I forgot which one it is. I think it's either or. They either get their uh testicles cut off, or they get like a part of their penis cut off. And they become eunuchs because they no longer could use their penises sexually at that point. So it's 2 or 3 of them in Jezebel's house or whatever. He called them, "Hey, which one of y'all is with me? Y'all know what's going on. Okay, I done killed a son, and you can pretty much guess what I'm finna do with her. Is you with me? Throw her down here." And they grab her, snatch her up. I'm sure she was hollering and screaming, "What you doing? I know." That's why you always want to treat people right, too. She probably been dogging them out, cussing them out, calling them all kind of names. They done heard the stories. They knew she been killing folks and doing stuff she ain't got no business. So now when judgment comes, they with it. They serve as her judges as well. You know what I say? Don't judge nobody. Oh, yeah. No, they judging. I know what is it. We got the right one. Okay. So they threw her down. Some of her blood splattered on the wall and on the horses, which trampled on her. When she went, then he went in and ate and drank and said, "See to that cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter." See, Jehu kind of messed up right here. Kind of messed up, but it's understandable, right? Because he kind of like King David in a way. He's honorable even to the people that don't deserve honor, right? King Saul, by all intents and purposes, didn't deserve no honor, didn't deserve no leeway. But David said, "This is the Most High's anointed." It was said that Jezebel would not be buried, right? That's why I say he kind of went off right here, right? Because he was told that the dogs are gonna eat her. If the dogs are gonna eat her, you don't bury her. Leave her body right there in the street so dogs can come eat her. Okay. But Jehu said, "Bury her, for she is a king's daughter." He's trying to respect the office of a king, right? The office of a quote unquote princess. But let's see what happens with that. Okay. But when they went to bury her, they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. When they came back and told him, he said, This is the word of the master which he spoke by his servant Elijah the Tishbite. In the territory of Jezreel, the dog shall eat the flesh of Jezebel. Okay? You see how even when we forget the Most High's word, he ain't forgot. Even when we got good intentions contrary to his word, he ain't forgot. I know you got good intentions. I know you forgot what I said. Don't worry about it. I ain't forgot. Okay? It said when they was on the way to bury her, his word had already been fulfilled. This is what we got to understand who we dealing with, man. We got to understand who we dealing with. Don't play with them. Okay? You're dealing with somebody that'll let dogs eat you. You know he had to been starving them dogs. Them dogs been waiting on that meal. They said they ate everything on that woman. What is it? They found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of the hands. It's a lot that ain't included in that, and the dogs ate that. So the Most High was preparing the dogs to eat this woman. This how deep he is. He been preparing the eunuchs to be disgruntled with her, to throw her tail out of that window. He was preparing Ahaz to come visit Jeroboam so he could be with Jeroboam when Jehu came to unalive him. He make all the pieces line up for his word to be fulfilled. This ain't no happenstance. This ain't no, lucky shot. It's designed. You want to play with somebody that's not only plotting on you, he plotting on everybody involved in the situation. Now, this could be for your judgment. It could also be for your salvation. What about that? What about the flip side of the coin? See how he make all this stuff work to punish somebody? He can make all this stuff work for you to be saved, for you to be exalted, for you to be uplifted, for your enemies to be your footstool. When you serve them, when you don't serve them, he put all this together for your demise. I mean, I don't think we understand what's going on here. I don't think we getting it. Who we dealing with? You're dealing with the most awesome chess player. I'm pretty sure the game was designed around the man. When you think you're doing something, he's not 6 moves, 1,000,000 moves ahead of you. An infinite number, as far as from the east is from the west. This how far ahead of he is of you. And you should think to play with such a person, with such a power. I'm just saying. Think about it. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to try to box with the Most High? Your arms ain't long enough, sonny. Your reach ain't strong enough. When they came back and told him, he said, this is the word of the master, which he spoke by his servant Elijah the Tishbite. Okay? In the territory of Jezreel, the dog shall eat the flesh of Jezebel. The corpse of Jezebel shall be like dung on the field in the territory of Jezreel, so that no one can say, this is Jezebel. Told I y'all. Usually I read like 2 chapters. I keep going on, man. But these 3-hour lessons and stuff, y'all ain't watching them. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all ain't watching them at all. So I'm not going to waste my time. So all praises to the Most High, y'all, right? The creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas and everything in them. That's what we got. Okay. As you see, I'm at home. I'm chilling. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in my robe. Chilling. We chilling. We at the crib. Right? Shabbat shalom. Right? For those of you that know about such things. And all praise to the Most High, man. His word, man, is so awesome, right? His promises, right? His quote unquote blessings, his baruchu, right? and his curses, his judgments. They just as awesome. And you have before you this day, okay? Good and evil, Tub and Rasha. Which one you want? You can have either one. You could have the salvation. you you could have the salvation, or you could have the judgment. Which one you want? Which one you want to eat from? Huh? Hmm? Hmm? You think you can get both? It don't work that way. He don't do like this. He do like this. Or he do like this. Which one you want? Okay? So, I'm finna get off here, man. All praise to the Most High, Yah, creator of the heaven and the earth, seas and everything in them. Shout out to his being, Yahushua HaMashiach. This Yah be Lewis. This is the Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study Podcast. And it's 12 tribes.